Welcome back to the Transfer Show. Arsenal have confirmed the signing of Madueke from Chelsea in a deal worth £52 million. The winger told us he can't wait to get going and he is happy playing on either flank.
I can't wait to get back and meet all the boys and train.
So what have the last few days been like while you finalised the deal?
Yeah, just been relaxed. Just waiting for the green light, and yeah, when I came in today, it all felt real, and I'm really happy and really proud. So it's a great moment for me.
So have you spoken to some of your England teammates, the Arsenal boys, about what it's like here? Have they welcomed you yet?
Yeah, definitely. I've spoken to Dick, Miles, Bukayo, even Urian as well, and they all say amazing things, obviously, about the club and the culture here and how warm it is and how much of a family it is.
Is having that versatility something that you pride yourself on, something that you've worked hard on?
Yeah, no, definitely. I try and be a dual threat from the left and from the right. Of course, it's a little different when I play on the left or when I play on the right, but yeah, I try to be a threat on both sides, and it doesn't really matter to me where I play.
Well, Madueke and Arsenal's potential new signing, Victor Gyokeres, have one thing in common. They both shoot more than the current Arsenal squad. Gyokeres averages over 4 shots a game, Madueke over 3. Only Saka shoots as often.
Arsenal fans are still waiting for an announcement on the deal to sign Victor Gyokeres from Sporting Lisbon. Let's get the latest and speak to the Portuguese football journalist David Novo, who works for The Record. Hello, David. The last time we spoke to you, you told us they were close to finalising a deal. What's the hold-up?
Hello, guys. Thanks for having me. Yeah, I said that, and I say the same thing. They are close, really close to make the deal. That's the thing. It's a small margin of 2.5 million euros in one of the bonuses. That's it's almost nothing when we are talking about a deal of 80 million euros, but it's enough to keep the clubs apart, to close this deal. It's a strange thing to say, because every day here in Portugal we keep asking to our sources in Sporting, our sources close to the players' agents. And there is a lot of information. I can give you an example. Just by today, early morning, we started to have some messages in our WhatsApp group at Record Portugal with some journalists. Early morning, some information saying that the deal was closed. And then like 1 hour after that, we had information that the deal is still not closed. So a lot of information, a lot of back and forth with this situation. Strange thing, just why the deal is not closed yet when we are talking about, like I said, 2.5 million euros in a transfer fee of 80 million euros. But that's the point right now. But we have the feeling here in Portugal that the deal is going to happen, but day by day, and the information is still the same.
Yep, we have to wait and see. Now, the Sporting chief was very forthright in suggesting that if the player didn't return to training, he would be fined. Is Gyokeres back in training yet?
No, he's not back in training, and he doesn't want to go back to training. Sporting is training in Algarve, the south of Portugal. They are playing friendly games already in the preseason, and no sign of Gyokeres. And he doesn't want to return. He's still, the information that we have, we believe that he's still in Sweden, waiting for the green light so that he can travel to London first. The expectation was to close the deal so that Gyokeres could travel with Arsenal. I think that tomorrow they are going to the preseason in Asia. That's the timing they had now to close the deal. But unless things can be done today, maybe. But of course, I think that, of course, Arsenal wants to have the player as soon as possible. But even if they get Gyokeres, I think they need Gyokeres to the Premier League and to start the Premier League. If Gyokeres misses the preseason, of course, it's not the perfect scenario. But I think that's the most important thing is to sign the player they want, and to sign the player that wants to play for Arsenal. it seems so simple. Speaking in these terms, I know the player wants to play for Arsenal. Arsenal wants to sign the player. It seems so simple, but it's not that simple, and we are seeing that things are complicated so far. But like I said, we have the feeling here. We have the feeling here in Portugal that the deal is going to happen.
Would it be fair to say that this saga and the way that it's dragging on, perhaps the way that Victor Gyokeres has been acting, means he's lost his legend status in the green half of Lisbon?
Well, a good question. I think that Gyokeres is going to be remembered as one of the best players that played for Sporting. The impact that he had in Portugal is huge. The goals he scored, the key player he was for Sporting, of course. But if you ask to a Sporting fan right now, they are, I think, a lot of them are backing up the president and against the player, because of course I think that everyone has the right to, and Gyokeres has the right to play for Arsenal. He has the right to have his dream to play in the Premier League. We all respect that here in Portugal, the fans, the press. But the way he's dealing things by missing training when he has a contract, he has his wages on time, he's cherished by the fans. And when you have that status and you miss training and you push and you put pressure on the deal through his agents, we believe, of course, I think he's going to leave for a small door, and he could leave as a legend. Of course, as the Sporting side, no one will, of course, put that in perspective or will ever criticize that. But the way he's behaving as a person, of course, it will be a sad end for a great player that played in Portugal.
Yeah, they're clearly unhappy. If we could see that banner again that the fans held up, if you could just translate it. My Portuguese is not great, but Ninguém está acima dos intereses do clube. What does that mean?
No one is above the interests of the club. So no one is above the club. The club is the most important thing. Players go and they play and they leave. You can have a player, even if it's the best player they have or one of the best players that they had in the last years, and he is. But this banner from Sporting fans is really clear. Sporting is way more important than any player. And like I said, a lot of fans, I think the majority, backing up the presidents and backing the club and the way they are behaving in this deal, being stick to what they want, the fee they want, and of course going against the player for everything he's doing in this situation.
Yeah, David, one-word answer. If we speak 1 week today, next Friday, will Victor Gyokeres be an Arsenal player?
Well,
one word.
I think so, but I really don't know. I think that I believe it's going to happen. But you can invite me again. I will be here, and I can say what's happening in the deal. So we can have that deal if you want.
Arsenal are still trying to get a blockbuster deal for Victor Gyokeres over the line and remain locked in talks with Sporting Lisbon over a transfer fee for the striker. Victor Gyokeres has dropped the biggest hint yet that his dream move to Arsenal is finally on the cusp of completion by getting a friend to empty his house in Portugal. The Sporting Lisbon star, 27, has emerged as the Gunners' top striker target. And Gyokeres is eager to move to the Premier League and link up with Mikel Arteta's side despite interest from elsewhere this summer, including Juventus, Manchester United and clubs in the Saudi Pro League. Arsenal and Sporting have been locked in talks as they try to thrash out a deal for the Sweden international. And while an agreement is now understood to be close, Gyokeres already seems to be preparing for the big move. A removal van was shown outside what it's claimed is Gyokeres' home in Portugal by CNN on Thursday. Record have confirmed the authenticity of the images and that the striker authorized a friend to oversee the process. Gyokeres, though, is understood to still be in Stockholm as he awaits the green light to travel to London and complete the formalities of a transfer to Arsenal. the Gunners have tabled a fixed fee of $63.5 million with a further $10 million in add-ons. Negotiations are now centred on the makeup of said add-ons, with Sporting pushing for $7.5 million of that total to be easily achievable. Gyokeres refused to return to pre-season training with Sporting last week as talks continued between the two clubs over a transfer. Federico Varandas, the Sporting president, confirmed plans to fine the striker. "We're calm. Everything will be resolved with the closing of the market, a heavy fine, and an apology to the group," Varandas told the Lusa news agency last weekend. "If the interested clubs don't want to pay fair market value for Victor, we are very comfortable with that for the next 3 years. If the geniuses who are devising this strategy think that this puts pressure on me to facilitate the exit, they are not only completely wrong but are also making the player's exit even more complicated."